Cubs are a strike away from moving on in the postseason. And the Chicago Cubs are moving on to the National League Championship Series.
Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go!
Visiting fans raising the W.
Go Cubs, go! Go Cubs, go!
Back-to-back NLCS appearances for the winningest team in baseball this year. And for the San Francisco Giants, they simply ran out of even year magic.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Riz on my podcast. And I'm barely awake this morning. So I'm sure I sound like I'm barely awake this morning. But anyways, it's been long overdue for one of these podcasts. I've got a little sidetracked with Florida State stuff. But this seemed like an appropriate time, obviously, to do another one of these. Series is over. Cubs are moving on to the NLCS for the second straight year, as you've heard in the intro. What a game. Actually, what a ninth inning. The first 8 innings were kind of encapsulated the series for Cubs hitters that aren't pitchers. Just Matt Moore just dominated. 2 hits allowed, 10 Ks. You know, entering the ninth, I was like, well, it's a game 5 upcoming, but can you guys at least get the tying run to the plate? Give me some hope. You know, I have that thought process anytime the Cubs enter the ninth inning when they're on the losing end, I was like, just get the tying run to the plate. That's it. At least have me get a little excited. Have some hope. Well, they did that. Bryant got like a seeing eye single. Rizzo walked. Zobrist doubled. Who was next after that? Was it Contreras? RBI single up the middle, which, by the way, I love that move because it was going to be Romo versus Russell. And Russell, like a lot of Cubs hitters, has struggled mightily, and especially I think he had an at-bat against Romo previous game and just looked like ass. Just nowhere close to his stupid sliders. So Madden announces Coughlin. Then Bochy announces a lefty. I can't recall his name at this point in time. And then, of course, Madden follows it up with putting Contreras in. So really, he was swapping Contreras for Russell. Or Russell for Contreras, whichever way you want to look at it. And Contreras came through. Ties the game on a single. Just ridiculous. Just pure silliness. And I can't remember the sequence after that. I just know Baez hit the go-ahead off of Strickland, and Hayward scored. And Hayward almost fucked it up. Oh, that's what happened. Hayward was laying down a sacrifice, and he laid down the terrible one. But fortunately, the result that was desired happened anyway, because Crawford inexplicably threw the ball like way the hell up the first base line. And Hayward scampers in the second on the error, and there's one out. And, yeah, that's when Baez came through. And then Baez, probably the series MVP. Bryant is close, but Baez, not only at the plate, but he was just sick with the glove, which he has been all year. He's the worst kept secret in the National League as far as being one of the better defenders, better infield defenders in the league. And then Chapman gets his chance to redeem himself, and he totally redeemed himself. 3 up, 3 down, all strikeouts. I will say this, though. Tip of the cap to the Giants. They were a pesky fucking bunch, which is what I was afraid of when that matchup was set in place. They just don't strike out a lot. They grind out so many fucking at-bats. It's annoying as hell. And the Giants pitching, maybe it was just the Cubs hitters sucking or a combination of both, but they held the Cubs bats down. And even though it didn't go 5 games, this felt like a 5-game series. Of course, game 3 was 13 innings long, so maybe that's part of it. But 3 of the games ended in 1-run victories for either team. So you had close games, and even game two, it's not like it was 8-2. You know, that was fairly close for the majority of that game. Just a nip and tuck series, which I guess I shouldn't have been surprised by because the regular season series that the Cubs won 4-3 featured a lot of one-run games as well. So this could very well could have been the Cubs' biggest obstacle. No disrespect to the Dodgers or Nats, but getting past this just pesky team. But I'm glad it's over because I did not want to see a game five. I really did not want to see a game five. I mean, I would have been confident at Wrigley, Lester on the mound. But again, and Theo Epstein said this, uh, you had Cueto and probably Mad Bum coming in from the pen, which doesn't bode well for most teams. Not saying the Cubs couldn't have won, but that is, as Theo Epstein said again, leaves little margin for error. And I was thinking this before the game even ended. I was like, okay, it's Cueto versus Lester. Oh, wait a minute. Probably Cueto slash Mad Bum. Fuck. This isn't good. You know, so I'm glad I didn't have to sit on pins and needles for game five. And of course, it also does something very good for the Cubs in that they get to set their pitching up. They get to line their pitching up. Everybody gets rest, which is obviously an advantage over whoever they play because the Nats and Dodgers are in game five tonight. And so you won't be seeing, if you're the Cubs, you won't be seeing Scherzer or Kershaw in game one. Oh, which is nice. That's a nice. Anyway, thankful it's over. And before I leave, fuck that even year bullshit. So tired of that. Oh, and I have a direct message to a certain fan, a certain Nationals fan. He's subscribed to my channel, so Tris, talking to you, buddy. Cool prediction. Giants would dominate the series, you said. Won't even be competitive. I shouldn't even watch. Oops. I guess that experience didn't work out for them, did it? But I'm sure you'll try and save face, or it wouldn't surprise me if you just said something silly like, oh, Cubs got lucky. Either way, guy, I think you could probably stop with your predictions. Or your over-the-top statements that just makes you look like an idiot. Anyways, that's the last thing I had to say. I'm not going to say anything more or get too personal because you're not on here to defend yourself, but please, I think I could speak for the entire Fantasy Sports Addicts community. And by the way, if you come across this, you like fantasy sports, get on fantasysportsaddicts.com. People are talking sports. People are getting into drafts every other day. It's a good site. But I think I can speak for that whole community when I say chill with the hyperbole and the predictions that you make. You're not Nostradamus. You're not. Okay. Experience. Jesus. Anyway, and Connor Gillespie. That's one last thing. Screw that dude. Golly. That guy is just on fire. I mean, first he had the game three, like nonsense, just turns on a 102-mile-an-hour high fastball. The dude hadn't seen a fastball 100 miles an hour or higher this season. He hadn't had an RBI off a left-handed pitcher this season. He had those in back-to-back games. Just Connor Gillespie, good lord, dude. Screw that guy. Good player apparently, at least for the past week. But God, screw that dude, man. Anyway, go Cubs, go. On to the next round. I don't care who it is they face. Dodgers, Nats, whatever. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. Well, thanks for listening. This has been another edition of Riz On.